Good morning, Dr. Ballard, Pastor Winfield, President Mercer, deans, tutors, guests, and students. My name is Deja Davis. My thesis statement is how has the sewing machine increased productivity of a seamstress. Next slide, please. My sewing machine. My sewing machine is cool, and you can do a lot of sewing with it. This is me making my dress. Next slide, please. Dedication. I dedicate this thesis to my grandmother, Margaret Davis. Whenever my clothes had holes in it, she would sew it back together for me. I would also like to dedicate this thesis to my parents, because without their love, I would not be here at Western Christian Academy. My mother taught me how to sew, and I am so thankful for that. My parents and grandparents are the best. Next slide, please. Today I'm going to prove that the productivity of a seamstress has greatly increased over the years due only to the inventions of the sewing machine. Next slide, please. The first seamstress were Adam and Eve. Genesis 3:7 reads, "Then the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. Also for Adam and his wife, the Lord God made tunics of skin and clothed them." Next slide, please. Before the sewing machine, people were sewing with their hands using needle and thread. It sometimes took weeks for fancy clothing to be made. It took lots of seamstresses to help finish the outfits for very important people. Next slide, please. A long time ago, Stone Age people sewed animal fur and skin together using other animal body parts, such as the bone and veins. They used animal skin, animal teeth, and animal bones to make outfits. Next slide, please. During the Middle Ages, people who had money hired seamstresses and tailors to sew their clothes. Sewing was mainly a woman's job. Next slide, please. The very first sewing machine was patented in 1790 by Thomas Saint. In the 1850s, Isaac Singer developed the first sewing machines that can make clothes faster than a seamstress and increase productivity. Next slide, please. As the sewing industry grew, sewing machines became more affordable for people. Sewing machines have changed with the way it looks. Next slide, please. Today, patterns are still around, but not as common since people buy clothes already made in the stores. Below is a chart of standard sizes. Next slide, please. Textile sweatshops started popping up all over with poorly paid people who get less than minimum wage. These sweatshops are still around today, unfortunately. Next slide, please. The standard sewing machines found in homes can be used by one person at a time, but the industrial sewing machines can be used by multiple people and are faster, bigger, and more complex and costly. Next slide, please. Just like with most industries, computers have taken over jobs that humans would usually do. Now that we are in the ready-made society, the jobs of the sewing machines operators in declining. Next slide, please. I am so thankful that I can go to the store and buy clothes easily. Making clothes is fun, but it takes a long time to cut the pattern. Next slide, please. My dress that was made by me. It took a long time for me to make it, but it was fun. When I was done, I tried it on and it fit me. Thank you. I will now take questions from the judges.